Welcome back to Living Local on this Veterans Day. Today we celebrate and honor America's veterans for their patriotism, love of country, and willingness to serve and sacrifice for the common good. For one local nonprofit, it's a year-round mission to serve those who have served us. Joining us in studio today, we have Dave Burt. He is with the Quad City Veterans Outreach Center. Dave, thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure. Thank you for inviting us.
So Dave, what's the history behind the center? I understand you've been with the center since its beginning.
We actually joined when my wife and I moved back from Des Moines. We joined immediately as fast as we could because it was something that was near and dear, and it kind of our opportunity to give back to the local veterans, but also honor my father-in-law.
Absolutely. Now, what exactly does the center provide for veterans?
We provide, without a pandemic, we provide lots more. But during the pandemic, thanks to several groups in the Quad Cities, Hy-Vee and Fairway and Quick Star and just Riverbend, several groups. Thanks to them, we provide a monthly drive-through basket where they drive through. We load them in their cars, and they'll pull out of there with about 20 pounds of meat, milk products, breads, enough at least to get by, we hope, for a couple of weeks.
Wow, that is an incredible service. How is the center funded, Dave?
That's a good question, and that's one that we always ask, and primarily through grants and private donations. 100% of what we take in goes back to our veterans. We are driven by the tremendous volunteers that we have, and a special thanks to them for their service to the center, but primarily donations.
And Dave, you mentioned that obviously your efforts have been impacted by COVID-19. Can you talk a little bit more about the restrictions that's put on the way that you serve veterans?
You bet. Typically, without a pandemic, we monthly have a luncheon for the veterans, and then we would allow them to go through our brand new marketplace that we opened up a year ago and opened it for a month and had to close it because of the pandemic. But typically they'll get to come in and have a luncheon. We have suits for soldiers closet in the back. We have DVD libraries. Probably the big thing that I'm very proud of is the fact that when they come to visit us and they come for the luncheons, they stay around and visit with each other. And that's so important to our veterans today, to be able to sit down with some of their brothers and talk about maybe the past or what's bothering them. We also do veterinarian checkups. We do wellness checkups. Again, this is in a normal time period without the pandemic going on. We still have been able to do the veterinary this past week, past month, and we also do haircuts for them, and we schedule those in. We have a setup in our outreach center where we can do a couple of haircuts an hour or so. It's just a few of the things that we are able to do for them.
And Dave, what sort of needs does the center have right now?
Right now, the needs that we have are donations, cash. We need, and fortunately, thanks for Riverbend and again our sponsors, they came to us after the pandemic hit and said, we want to keep you guys alive and well. Here's grants to apply for. We'll work with you, and so our primary need right now is donations to keep the center going with the food drives.
So that is a very straightforward way for folks in our community to support the work you're doing. Dave, do you have any other ideas for folks out there in our community? What can we do to continue showing support for our nation's veterans? I
do. We have lots of groups that will get together, Band of Brothers, combat veterans, where they'll get together and they'll bring food supplies over to us. They generally have drives within their own organizations where they'll raise funds, and generally they'll take those funds and buy toiletries. Combat veterans just delivered 75 turkeys and hams to the Veterans Center this last week for our upcoming giveaway for November. So that's one of the things they can do is have drives for us. So.
Absolutely. Well, Dave, thank you so much for taking the time to be here today and for all the work you're doing to serve our local veterans.
My pleasure. Thanks for having us.
If you would like some more information, you can reach the Veterans Outreach Center by phone at 563-529-5496. We'll also have those details posted on ourquadcities.com.